episode of City Skylines Challenges with me, Maddie.
And me, Helena.
This week is a special episode. We did not have a poll this week to see what the challenge would be, because this is like, I wouldn't call it like an event, but this has been a thing that's been in the plans for a pretty long time. Do you want to tell us some more?
Absolutely. We are in collaboration with a very cool organization in New Jersey in the US. They use esports or gaming to teach. So we will be doing a challenge that is inspired by what they're teaching, which is like greening cities, so making cities more green. So I have a message from their teacher that I will read out to kind of shout out to the students and to the community at large. And they said, shout out to the Garden State esports community, a statewide esports league serving all New Jersey schools and students. They are excited to participate in this challenge with Paradox and City Skylines. Yay!
I'm very excited to kill this challenge. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes,
too
you're
much
very
energy.
eager.
Okay.
No, I love it.
Okay.
So basically, after doing some back and forth on like what we could do in our show with our hour challenge, we decided that taking a city that's already kind of exists but doesn't have so much public transportation would be a really good way to show the students and the community at large that how to make your city more green by adding a lot more really cool public transportation options. So that is basically what Maddie will be doing in this hour.
Yes. So I went on the workshop and we downloaded a map. I just sorted by most popular in 3 months, and I just downloaded one that didn't have any mods or any assets. It's, completely just base game assets. So it's got a 60k pop. And I'm so sorry to the creator. I'm so sorry, Valar Morghulis. But I did remove all your public transport just so that I could, win this challenge. So this is the map that we're gonna go for, and it looks really cool. I'm gonna show off the map for a little bit. So it's got like these crazy mountains, and it has all of the basic like infrastructure already put in. So hopefully we can get those the ridership numbers up and win the challenge. But it has like these super cool like little waterfalls, and like here's a little zoo on top of the hill. I've been looking at this map for a little bit, and I think it's really cool. Like, this is like one of the tallest dams I've seen in this game. Like, look at how freaking tall that is. It's crazy. But yeah, it's got like a lot of different areas and a lot of different zones, and it's spread out really far, but it doesn't have a huge population, so hopefully it should run on everybody's PCs just fine if they want to attempt the challenge.
Excellent. It looks gorgeous. I can't wait to see you connect to everyone with amazing public transportation methods.
Yeah, and this is a well-known fact. Public transport is in fact like my favorite thing to do in this game, to like get all my little simmies like super happy, and that they can travel from their house to work and to fun and to wherever. It's like I love it. I love it so much. It's super fun.
Excellent.
I'm ready. Nurgle, put on the counter. Oh. Go. Okay. So let's determine the main transport hub. And I did there were a couple lines on here, but I didn't peek. Because I wanted to try to like give myself, a big, the same challenge as everybody would have.
Yes.
So I want to try to determine where we're going to put in the central hub. Because having a central hub is always good, because it gives a really great point for people to try to switch lines if they have to get to a different part of the city. So let's try to determine that. A really good start would probably be to find a train station. So there's a couple train stations. There's a train station by the airport. Great. What a placement. I think this one's really good though. Like this line right here. I think this will probably be our hub. I want to see where it goes. It does like, oh, okay. No, here. They've already placed one of the default hub buildings that you can find in mass transit. This one is going to be really great. Oh, it also has a little tram roundabout. This is perfect. So let's see. Yes, I'm just going to start by making a train line because I saw that this train line ran all the way over to the airport. So let's connect it up. Here's a tiny hub. Just going to let the simulation run a little. And then we'll connect here. So first I'm just going to connect all the stations. And they're placed, the general rule of thumb for train stations, I would say, is probably to, you don't have to place them super close together because they are lines that you want to transfer people like far distances fast.
Yeah.
So you don't need like a train station on every block, on every corner.
No. That would be silly.
There's already people waiting. This is great. So that's like a good base, having a train line as a good route. And then they have like this really cool, like pretty short monorail, but I think it's a great illustrator of like what the monorail looks like and how it works. So monorail, I would class monorail and tram as a really good like next level above train. So while train, few stations, long distances, monorail can be like a sort of in between. Monorail and tram can be in between. So you can have like monorail goes super fast, but they also have like more stations than a train. And then tram you can put, you know, pretty far, and they usually are pretty large vehicles, so you can transport a lot of people. But the stops are usually pretty close together. You know, a couple blocks here and there.
Yep.
All right, so that's. There is a monorail track there already. I did remove it. Oops. But that runs all the way over to. Oh, there's boats and stuff. Oh, look at this cool little walkway. I love slopey maps. I love it. I love hills.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, that's cool. That is crazy looking. This map is awesome. All right. So I think the next thing is probably to get some bus stops in. So let's get some buses.
I see someone had asked, they missed the map name. It is Delta Range at 60,000 population.
Yes. It's
It is a really pretty map.
It is really nice. And because this is supposed to be like a green cities thing, I'm going to put a biofuel bus depot down.
And what is a biofuel bus field?
So
bus depot,
biofuel is usually like a natural gas or some sort of gas thing. It could also be, I don't know what to call that in English, like a natural oil, like flour. I don't know what that's called in English. It's like the little yellow flowers that you can cook with. You know, they make like an oil that you can cook with.
Canola oil.
Yes, that can also run buses. They did that in my hometown. I just don't know what it's called in English.
Yeah.
Who knows flowers in different languages? All right, so I'm gonna put this. Where do I want to put it? I want to put it somewhere where the buses can easily access stuff, and it's also very loud. So I don't want to put it like in a residential area.
What makes it loud?
All of the buses departing from it. I mean, in game, it's that orange circle. You can tell by the orange circle how loud it's gonna be. But the buses leaving and departing will probably be a little bit loud. I'll just put it here by the highway. The highway's already
Which is
loud.
already loud.
Yeah, the highway don't care. They're just gonna drive past it. I'm gonna try, because this map probably has like other bus depots. I'm gonna see if I can delete it, so I only get the good buses. Let's see, where is it? Where are you? Oh, you little sneaky. It's orange and should stand out. Is it this one? No, that's a train. That's a cargo station. Am I blind? Yes. Ish. Beside the point, I guess. It's too hard to find. There? No, that's still. I've already looked at that one. Oh well.
Well, maybe there's not.
Yeah. Maybe I'm completely blind. Oh no, there! Here it is. There it is. Ha! Spotted you.
Tricky.
All right, so now all the buses that get spawned should be biogas buses. But if you have both, you can still have like both depots, and then you can you can just change what bus gets spawned for each line. They are a little bit more expensive, but they make people happier.
Nice.
All right, so let's start with at our depot. There are a couple. I mean, there's a couple of different regions. So I usually, when I build my cities, I usually try to get at least one main line that goes pretty much like 1 or 2 stops in each regions, and then we'll get like a another bus line that goes in that regions and transports people to those stops or to like another public transport stop. So
that makes sense.
Let's start.
So you can take. Yeah. So the Sims can take like if they're going from one area to another, they take that one.
Yeah.
And then if they need to transfer on the smaller one, that works. Cool.
I'm gonna add a couple roads here so that we can get more of like a little a separate, road just for the buses, so that we don't get a ton of traffic getting interrupted by our bus stops. Oh, okay, let's remove these trees because they're in the way. There. All right, let's go. This main part this is probably like where the downtown is, I would guess, if I had to pick one spot in the planning of the city.
Got the skyscrapers, which are usually indicative of a downtown area.
Yeah, this city's really awesome. I'm probably gonna just get this map at home and just look at it and see how it works. But this area is pretty much already serviced by the monorail, so I'm probably not gonna put another bus that goes down to the stadium because they have the monorail that's like pretty close. But let's have it go like on this main road. Gonna create a pretty basic line that uses the main arterial roads here.
And it looks like by adding it, you're making a lot of people happy.
Yes. You can see all of the houses that get serviced by the building. That's one of like the main aspects about how leveling works in cities. When you give them a service, they are more prone to leveling. They need a certain amount of like, what is it, like happiness, I guess? What would the word be? They need to be happy to level. And it's very easily done with like services like buses and or like fire stations and stuff like that. Let's see. Is there another? I'm gonna transport hub. I think I'm gonna pull the end of the line to here if I can get it there. God, there's this really cool like snaky thing. Oh, and here's a little hub. I think I'm gonna use this hub for my little bus. It's gonna go drive down there. All right, so let's have a stop down here by the skyscrapers. Where's the last stop? Let's have there, and then there. And then we'll go down to the craziness that is this hub. Alrighty, people waiting here. See if they'll take the snake road. Oh, they will. Oh, that's gonna look so cool. Sorry, I'm freaking out. We'll have it stop there, I think. And now let's right in front. And then we'll keep going up here. And yes. And then I'm gonna loop back, I think. So I'm gonna loop back on itself.
Okay.
And make it a parallel line all the way back to its destination. So it services all of this. Now,
it's a good amount of the city.
I think that's a really good line. I'm gonna do another one and sort of go in the other direction and try to service more of like this inner part. I'll just put it next to. It'll be buddies. We'll pull it out and have it go. Oh, there's this really cool like bridge here that I really want to use. This infrastructure is just really cool. I think I'll go parallel with the other line so that if they want to switch lines, they can see another stop on the other side of the road, and then they'll
Nice.
switch there. We'll do the same, mainly because I just want to use this little roundabout thing again. And it'll also end up in the ferry hub. Forgot what boats are called for a second. And then should I? Yes. And then I'm gonna mirror on this side too, so that it can keep switching this entire road. And then I'll just go up instead. Go up into this little cozy neighborhood here.
And make so many more homes happy.
They're gonna be so ecstatic. Yes, I think that's that hub serviced by buses. Let's see. So now we've covered, I think we've covered this part. The one thing that I did see when we were playing around with it though, there was this really cool pre-made tram track, which we should probably utilize.
Absolutely.
So let's add a tram too, in our little tram stop. Right next to our hub is the first station. Then where does it go? Ooh, it goes here. It has like dedicated tram roads. Awesome. And it has dedicated tram lanes here. And of course I'm gonna mirror so that if they want to switch, they can totally switch. And then here is their end destination. And then it goes back. Very sensible. Very sensible.
Well, it's nice that it can be sensible and a green option. That's awesome.
Yes. And trams are, because they usually just run on electricity, they're very green. Oh, so cool, so cool, so cool. There's a tram line that like does a. I'm gonna try to. I don't want to like completely copy what this dude did with the city, and I'm probably gonna like upgrade and change some of the roads. But I think I'm gonna stick with that. If I need to, I'm gonna. I mean, after we've placed all the lines, this is like placing the lines is like the first step. Then we have to investigate where people want to go, and then we get to do the second step. So let's. I
like that you have it. The process. We'll see how far along we get.
I love public transport so much. All right. So now I'm gonna make like express routes to our little, I mean the little faraway places. So like this little suburb here, and then there's like a suburb down here by the university. Here's like an island. Okay. This is getting crazy. I might even need more bus stops here. All right, whatever. Let's start placing our express routes. So I saw a road that leads over to this. Oh, there's a road.
Oh, well, that is one way.
They can't get home. Oh no.
What happened?
Don't know. They must have gotten disconnected. Sometimes, you know, people use roads that I don't have. So let's see if I can place them back. Just gonna do that. All right, cool. That you can now get home, people. I'm so sorry that I made that impossible for you. I do feel a little bit bad. All right. I'm gonna place just one bus stop right up here. There's like a lot of really good like pedestrian access up to this road here.
Okay.
So I think this is like a really good spot to place a bus stop. And then we'll have maybe like one little internal one going in there. So let's connect all of those. And then we'll make a little one on the I'm gonna make it like here, I think. Like on the segment. Oh, it's so hard to place. There. You just gotta be careful. We'll just make a little loop that goes just on this island. So that you don't have to walk all the way from the bus stop. You can take a bus if you need it. But I'm still really sticking to like the main lines or like the main roads.
Okay.
So that they do still have to walk a little bit.
Mhm.
And I do also connect the little tiny neighborhoods. Ooh, and we're back to the snaky road. I didn't even plan this, but this is really great.
Otari asks if there's any good tips to prevent overcrowded tracks or bus lines that you have.
I think the main one is probably if you have like an overcrowded one, I would check the budget. If you feel like adding more buses to it would make it like crazy, like you can always raise the budget to add more buses to add more capacity to the line. But if you want to, if you're already at like a super high budget and you can't add more buses, I would suggest just making smaller, like a branching line, or like make another hub somewhere along that line where you can then just end it early and then switch. Or maybe even change the mode of transport. So instead of bus that only has a pretty small capacity, maybe change it to tram that has a higher capacity, so that you can run, more vehicles or like bigger vehicles on the same line. Right.
Sounds legit.
I hope that made sense. Sometimes when I talk about things that I really like, I just babble and I don't make any sense. But I hope that made sense.
People in chat are discussing how sensible you sound, so I think you're doing good.
Okay, good. All right. All right. Let's pull another line to this suburb, which is, how is it connected? This bus might have to travel on the highway. We'll see what happens.
Uh-oh. Are there any issues with that in City Skylines?
Since I'm making an express bus line, it's not really a problem because I just want them to use it as their like a connection point and not like the main bus route that they get from A to B. It's just to get to A.5 and then from A.5 to B. But generally, if you can't avoid highways, I would instead just place another bus stop so that maybe you can service more communities or like another area. Let's see where it wants to go. Ooh, it wants to go down and over. Okay. So the first stop we'll do then, because we can, it's gonna be the little hub. And then we'll go over. So we'll have a connection here. Another really good point is I wouldn't, if you were making a bus line and it automatically wants to like run past another bus stop that you've already made, I wouldn't connect every bus stop, but connecting some of them is a really great idea because then you create, a point of switch so that they can swap if they need to get from one bus to the other. Makes that a possibility. They can do it.
And do you have any special criteria usually for when you place a bus stop that is like a swapping area? Like, do you look for somewhere special in a city to do that, or just plop it wherever?
Depending on how many buses you have on that route, if you have like 3 routes that share the same stop, it might get crowded by buses. And in that case, I would probably like remove one of the routes. But if it's just like one point, then some cloggage some cloggage of the buses should be fine. But avoid putting it on super busy roads that are already pretty clogged by traffic. You want to try to avoid the too many buses just waiting, basically.
Cool.
Doesn't really make for great it'll cause delays and all that fun stuff. Ooh, there's a little park here. No. Pulling 2 points of interest is also a really good idea. Like zoos. Well, I saw a zoo, so we're gonna pull a bus to a zoo. But from a hub to like just single stop, like a direct bus from like a hub to a zoo, so that tourists have a really good way of getting places, is really, really good. Because tourists really look for a route that is very like just easy to get to. And if they can avoid swapping a million times, they will. Cool. And then we'll just back. So really
And,
trying to avoid a lot of stops.
Chat is remembering the big public transportation episode we did a while back, and the big wiggle energy bus area.
It was a great episode. I think the wiggle is like my favorite creation. I did make a public transport hub in my own city at home, and I made it a wiggle. I wiggled it, and it looked really good.
So if you are enjoying this episode and are curious on how to make that one, check out the Transportation Hub live stream video.
Yes. All right. So I think those are. We'll do this island too. Let me just do this island too quick, because we are both running out of spaces here on our little bus little hub, and these places are getting really like they're getting pretty far away.
Okay.
This one has like a pretty similar distance to the other one, so this one I'll allow. But for the rest of them, we're gonna take them. We're gonna use them as like, we're gonna make their own little hub in their area, so that we don't have to ride the bus for like an hour. We'll give them like a train or something faster to get to their hub, and then they'll have bus lines that route out from there.
Cool.
Because I wouldn't want to sit on the bus for an hour. That would be...
No.
That's very long.
No.
But I will make a tiny loop in this little neighborhood. Sticking to the main roads as much as possible, so that they'll be able to... It'll cover as much area as possible. Usually the main roads are the best connection points. Most of the houses can somehow get to a main road. All right, and then we end it. Bam. Bam. Gonna make it stop on the way there too. All right, cool. Very nice. Very cool. So there is already a really well-made metro network, which is the next thing that I want to do. There isn't a metro station here, but we will remedy this. So let's see what we can build. All right, I'm gonna just plop a metro station. I mean, we don't have much of a choice, but I would like that. But okay, we do that. Let's see where the metro is. So there is a metro station here underneath the...
Okay.
I mean, it's a great connection just to the university area. But I want to see if I can connect my new little station to that station. But I have to first figure out where it's going. It's going up and over here. So that's where it stops. So let's make a branching connection. So right now it's just one little snick.
Okay.
So I'm going to connect my little hub point to the snick. And then we'll make two branching lines. One that goes down and then one that goes up. And then we'll probably make just one line that goes up and then down again. So one and then branch, so that we can cover the most area. Just gotta find a good connection points.
Now, if you wanted to make your city greener, and add a lot more public transportation options like you're doing, how would you determine that you were successful?
I think in my case, my public transport numbers are probably going to be, or like how I'm going to count it is probably going to be how many riders I have, which we can tell from the public transport info, or or the amount of cars that I take off the streets.
Okay.
So I guess we can look at that now. I think I looked at it before, but let's see, what's this button? I don't know. The buttons aren't the same as I have at home. Here we go. So current traffic flow is like 84. I'm gonna let the simulation run for a little bit. But as much as I can like raise this is still really, really good. The city, I mean, there's only like 40,000 people. But if this goes up, I'll be happy. Because the more cars that we take off the streets, the better. Oh, wrong one. Oh wait, there is. Oh, there's a mod. Oh, there's already a station inside of the building. I didn't even think of that. We're gonna use it. We're just gonna keep it going in this direction. So there is already a metro line that goes the other way. But you know,
can you do that? How does that work again? The other way, of course. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right, and then we'll put just right along this beautiful train line. Okay, so here's the metro line. So we're just gonna connect it in a beautiful little V shape. Like so. Don't look at the side profile.
Oh.
It's a roller coaster and a metro.
Yeesh.
I could have smoothed that out. I don't want to now. I'm gonna keep it.
No, you're gonna keep it?
It's gonna be action-packed and very thrilling.
It's gonna be scary.
Yes. Yes, it will be.
If one wanted to fix that, how would they go about doing it? If you were like a student who maybe needed a better grade than
roller coaster grade?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna, let's see. We're gonna delete it. I'm gonna turn on the underground view. I'm gonna remove my roller coaster. What grade would I get if I had a roller coaster?
Wah, wah.
Miss Helena.
I mean,
what roller
it would
coaster would I get?
probably depend on what the assignment was.
Good point. Good point.
So, I mean, if your assignment was to make your city greener and terrorize your citizens, then sure, you would be doing great.
All right, cool. I am using some mods for this. So one of the options in Road Anarchy is this beautiful slope button. And I didn't have it enabled, and it made a roller coaster, which I find super fun and thrilling. But I guess I'll turn straight slope on and then connect it. And then it should be, you know, a nice, clean, straight tunnel. I guess that makes more sense. Alrighty then. Alrighty. So let's just see where this tunnel goes, because I want to try to get it. Aha! So there's a station, but it keeps going. It goes underground. Okay, so here's the first station. So we'll just start on the end, because it's easier. Cool. Oh, there. And then boop. And boop. So the only area that had metro that connected between regions before were this side of the city, but now I'm connecting all of it.
Ooh.
Metro's a really fast way for citizens to get around. And it's also usually pretty easy to set up because it's all underground. I'm not saying out of sight, out of mind, but you don't have anything underground usually. So if you want to put a tunnel and a metro there, it's really easy. Can't recommend it.
Yeah, way easier than in real life when there are years of construction that go into this. So
for sure. All right, and I'm gonna pull this down to the university, because the university is usually a pretty busy area.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be our first branch.
And universities traditionally need a lot of public transportation.
Yes. You want to make it easy for the students to get places. All right, so that was the first branch. Now let's branch upwards. Don't remember. And this train tracks, you know, you can't really have multiple stops unless you make multiple stations. So these are just going to share stations for the beginning of the route. And then this one's going to go up. I think this one, oh yeah, this one goes all the way up to this really big suburban area. So this is where our hub is going to be later when we make those bus lines from there. And because it's above ground, it looks basically like a train, and it functions very much like a train. It's a little bit cheaper, and it has a little bit less capacity. Oh gosh. Where is the station? There are so many tunnels. All right, there it is. I got it. All right, into there. Super nice. So now we have our branching stations. So we have one that goes from the hub to the university. We have one from the hub up to this big suburban area. Let's do one that connects the suburban area, which usually holds, you know, students. And then we'll connect it to the university. Straight, just up and down tactics here. Oh, and there. And final station. Very nice. We're also using both platforms. Very optimal, very optimal. Tax money well spent. Super cool.
Yeah,
All
very
right.
cool.
So now we've created our little separate hubs in our faraway regions, the faraway regions of the suburbia. So the step like above, so it's trains, then trams and metro and monorail. The big vehicles go fast. And now we need a slow vehicle, low capacity, that has a lot of stops to pick up people. The final, what do you call it? It has a name in city planning. Final stretch vehicle? Final, it's like the last vehicle that you take before you get to your home or to your workplace. It has a name.
I have no idea.
It has a name. Super cool. Let's add some bus lines here. So this area, it looks pretty busy. I'm guessing most of this is like commercial. Commercial areas usually do get pretty busy when it comes to like truck traffic. They need to get deliveries in, customers. So the creator has already added a little bus road, which is very nice. So we're going to use the bus road to add our bus stops to. I'm going to see how can I stretch this out? How can I make it really easy? I'm going to have one that just loops around, sort of almost school bus style, just like every other corner. It'll just snake like sort of labyrinth style. Just
making people happy.
Oh my gosh, they're so happy. It'll have some destinations here by the commercial area, because there is a schedule in every residence, sort of in the AI. They need to wake up, go to work. After work, they go shopping for dinner, and then they go home. So they need, if you're making like a good public transport route, I would totally try to at least get a little bit of commercial in every route if it is near, because then you give them a good stop to get off at if they choose to buy groceries that day. They don't do it every day, but if they need to, they have the possibility. Which is also really great that's why usually you put a hub near like big commercial areas, so that they can not just change mode of transport, but they can also go shopping.
Nice. We are at just over 25 minutes left. So if you're just joining us and you're wondering what is going on, this week is a very special edition where we are partnering with the Garden State Esports Community, which is a statewide esports league that serves all of New Jersey schools and students. They are being challenged to create a more green city. And so what we're doing with this live stream is having Maddie take a city and making it more green by adding lots of public transportation options. So that is what she's doing. And so far it's looking pretty, you can get from one side of the city to the other in many different ways. So, so far so good.
But speaking of work, this side of the city, they have these really big, like, what do you call these? Industrial areas. I forgot the word industry, but big industrial areas, and people really like it if you give them public transport. So I'm gonna give public transport possibilities here. We've got like a wood shopper, a forestry. Thank you, brain, for giving me words all of a sudden. We got like a forestry, and we have an oil storage. I think. Do they pump oil here? Yes. But they got like oil, and we got forestry, and then we got ore. So let's try to get all of them on one line, so that like that one line specifically is like the work transport line.
Mhm.
If they're far away, I would suggest like giving them their own.
Yeah.
But usually one is enough. And this one I will place like just straight through, but I'll place it on the main road here. I think that'll look good. I'm also gonna pause time because I don't want it to get too dark so we can't see stuff. I like seeing things.
And we have someone in chat asking if you're planning to add bike paths to make it bike friendly.
I was. But
Okay.
I have 20 minutes. So I think we're gonna do the basics. But bike paths. If a sim can walk to their destination via pedestrian paths, they will, no matter what. And if they have bike, they will 100% use it, because in their brain, they love to move. They love to walk their little booties, but they can't walk super fast on the sidewalks of roads. So if they can take public transport, they will. But on pedestrian paths, they feel like they can run their little heart out. You know, they can move super fast. So they will always prioritize pedestrian paths and bike lanes. The AI just thinks they're faster. They're not really, but they think they are. So they will prioritize them. So if you give them bike lanes, they'll love ya. They'll love you forever. So I really suggest bike paths. They're great.
All right. Okay.
That was my spiel. All right, I'm over now. I'm done.
Well, maybe in the last 5 minutes, instead of adding trees, you can add a couple bike paths.
Ah, yes. All right, the ore. I'm just giving every area just one. What do you call it? One stop. So like the ore will have one stop for all the people to gather at. We're not going to need a ton.
No. And someone, Yakdun Shorter said, were you referring to the last mile or the last leg of the journey when you were asking?
The last leg of the journey. Yes, thank you. As you can tell, I am really great at English. I might sound like I am, but my brain, no. Good. All right. I am not very good at it. I should just fake like a Swedish accent so that when I forget words, people don't think that I'm just being weird. All right.
Well, you have a lot on your mind. You're like
Thinking about
changing
buses
a
like
whole
crazy.
city's public transportation infrastructure. I mean, that's a lot to think about. So
yeah,
don't worry too much.
Ooh, here's this really big. Ooh, we got like a cargo airport. I'm gonna place a stop here for all the cargo airport workers.
Nice. There. And we recently, on April 22nd, celebrated Earth Day. So if you are looking for additional ways to make your city green, you can check out our social platforms. We left a bunch of tips on how to make your cities more green for Earth Day. So check it out. But do you have a favorite tip, Maddie, for making your city more green?
A favorite one? I mean, trees are really good. Like noise pollution is a type of pollution that you can only stop by planting trees, and I love that.
Yeah.
Trees.
Whenever she gets the opportunity to plant trees, she does. She takes it.
It'll always make it look prettier. That's a fact. All right. I noticed this little tiny area down here. They're super cute, and they totally want a bus line. I'm gonna give them a bus line. They'll stop.
I have some. Oh, sorry.
No, keep going. No.
I have someone in chat asking, how do you make the game look so smooth with the camera movements?
There's a mod called Speed Slider, and it's meant to just for when you're making like a cinematic to slow down the speed of the simulation so that in your editing you can speed it up to make the whole game look super smooth. But it has like another effect of just making movements slower. So I've just lowered it by 55%. So my camera's just moving 55% slower than normal. It's not what the mod was intending, but that's what I use it for. But if I speed it up to 100, you'll probably recognize your own game speed. But for me, it's gonna be like, I feel like the Flash. I feel like this is crazy. I'm just used to 45, but that's the mod. So speed slider is the mod that I use for that. All right, cool. We've got it connected. All right, and the airport is also connected, but he's not connected by road. I think we're missing like a bridge or something here.
It looks like it.
Yeah, yeah. Should I just add a random one?
I think that might be good.
Yeah. I'm gonna, you know, we're gonna use my favorite, I'm gonna use my favorite bridge in this game, which is the Industry Road. It's my favorite bridge. I think it looks great, and it's.
What makes it your favorite?
You'll see in a second, I think. Okay, I'm gonna change it to bridge, and then, yes. Look at this cool kid. He's got like holes in the middle. Oh gosh, can't see it. He's got holes in the middle. I'm very easily pleased, obviously.
Yeah.
Put holes in my road and I'll love it. Yeah, no, I like this. That's it.
Cute.
It's not very cool.
Hey man, it works, so
yeah.
No worries.
All right, cool. All right, there we go. I think that was the bridge that's missing. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It felt like there was supposed to be a bridge there. Cool. Oh gosh, this city is so, like, all these really snaky roads. Look at that. That's crazy looking. I can just look and watch that forever.
So few cars. There's so few vehicles. Good job.
Yeah. Thanks. All right, let's see the. I mean, I'm gonna let the simulation run for a little bit because it takes them a little bit to like realize that suddenly there's buses to take instead of taking your car. So I'm just gonna let the simulation run for a little bit, and while we do that, if you remember this, oh my gosh, look at this! Look at the people that want a bus.
Oh wow!
But this hub here, it needs a boat. Stop pausing the game. Guys, stop pausing. We need to let it run. All right, let's make a road here, or like a little route, because they're good. Gosh, there's a lot of tourists that want to get in. Yeah. We have a lot of ferry stops, so let's connect them up. There's a couple here. There's one. There's one. That's the depot. And then we'll dip back. Ferries are usually the way slowest method of getting places unless you have like an island and you need to take the ferry. So unless there is a policy in the game that will allow you to sort of not force your citizens to use your ferries, but advertise to them, I guess. I don't like the idea that I'm forcing them. I like the idea that I'm just very good at advertising. But if you activate that policy, they will use your ferries more. But you know, they're cute. They look nice.
And the ferry is the more scenic way to
you will see tourists and stuff using it, like all of these red cloth wearing tourists. They'll probably use the ferry. They like those methods. Oh, look at all my buses. Here they go. So this is the biofuel bus. It looks a little bit different. If you're not super used to the game, you probably can't even tell. But they have a little bump on them. It's a very cool bus. It's very cool.
And chat is saying you're not forcing, you're encouraging them.
That is that's a good word. I don't want to be seen as forcing. But that's good. That's good. This is really cool. Oh wow. Look at the armada of spawned vehicles. It's gonna take them a long while, because they all get spawned at the same time. and then they have to, I don't know if it's called that in real life, but in cities it's called unbunching. Because now they're all bunched together and they have to unbunch, and that requires them to stop at a couple stops before they get the spacing right. They will space out perfectly. It might just take a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and especially if you just added a whole bunch of new options.
Let's see how many lines I added.
Oh man.
What? 9. I added 9.
Excellent.
right at the same time. This is also okay. So now I'm pretty good with the lines. I think we've covered the main points, so they should be able to get from A to B. There's a zoo up here though. Ah, there's a zoo. Ah.
You forgot.
Oh, let's do the zoo.
What?
Let's do the zoo. Oh, there's also a super cool castle. Okay,
My
fine.
goodness.
I'll give the tourists a bus line. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm nice like that.
You are super nice like that.
that was yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm just gonna give them like their own stop. It's just gonna be straight up and down, to and from the zoo. Nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool, super cool. All right.
Asking if there are sightseeing buses in cities.
Yes, in mass transit you can do sightseeing buses. I guess while we're waiting for unbunching to happen, we can do a little sightseeing bus. So they have their own depot. Where do I place it? Oh, gosh, I'm gonna place it just next to it. We'll have the loud corner be right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the points of interest. They're like super purple. Obviously the zoo is completely purple. But they don't want to really go to the mining place. And maybe the suburb isn't super attractive. It has like a couple destinations that are the parks. But
Yeah.
I think we'll have just one that like loops in here. So a sightseeing bus, they're not going to take a sightseeing bus to get from point A to point B. So having like a sightseeing bus that goes from the hub to the zoo is not going to be like a great idea. A sightseeing bus is mainly used for traveling between a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
So having a sightseeing bus like starts here, and then like just takes like 2 or 3 stops like in the purpley areas.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever it's been bombarded by, I don't know, a paintball. I don't know.
Fun attraction.
Yeah, you know, something. Something.
So it's like a hop on, hop off bus
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
Let's see. What's like a cool, good spot here? I think there's a row that's missing here. Let me just add that back. Okay. Beep, beep, boop. All right. And we'll
Andrew.
have stop.
Just over 10 minutes left. So.
Okay. Oh, and here's a nature reserve. I didn't even see that. That's pretty cool.
Ooh.
I can't pull a sightseeing bus up there because these are all pedestrian paths. They need
Okay.
roads. But we can have one that goes like down here to where the entrance is. That's also not connected because it's been road removed, but we'll go in here and then I'll just hit these areas. Just one each. The sightseeing bus is also completely free to run, but only tourists will use it.
Okay.
So it has its, I wouldn't call them downsides, but it's not optimal for like a lot of use, I guess.
Yeah.
All
But it
right.
would probably be good for like areas where maybe not everyone goes to all the time, but
Yeah.
you know, like the tourists go to. And then they're not clogging up the public transportation
Yeah.
for the citizens.
And this is what the sightseeing
look at
bus look like. It's like a classic double-decker
Yeah.
panorama roof sort of deal.
Mhm.
They're pretty cool. And they also
Cute.
have they also have like the same capacity, which is
Mhm.
not a ton for buses. So buses are 30 people max per car, per bus, per vehicle.
And the double decker is also 30, not 60.
I can't. That I cannot answer. Here's another metro station. Oh my goodness! Don't do me like this. Right at the end. Come on. Station building has a separate metro line. Sure, I'll allow it.
Chimeratorian says, I think unbunching is my new favorite PDX live stream word.
It's not. I didn't coin it. It's in mods and stuff. I didn't invent it.
That's okay. Still, like, take credit for introducing it to people.
I will.
All right.
All right, look at all these. Oh gosh. I don't think I want to look at my traffic numbers while they're looking like this. Because this is not going to make them go up much.
That's a line that's in definite need of some unpunching.
Yeah, this needs a lot of unpunching. But at least when they get to like this point, they're pretty okay.
Yeah, they'll work themselves out.
Yeah. I'm gonna change some settings in here. Don't worry about it. All right. Need them to be able to get into intersections. There we go. There you go, buddies. There you go. Come on in. I'm gonna try to get them out of this roundabout.
Yeah. Knoxville is calling it the Conga bus line.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't have like a ton of time. But if I had, I would probably assign like a color depending on what the bus route was. So like the internal bus routes in here would have different colors, and like the express bus routes would have different colors, and like the internal one here would have a different color, just so that you can tell which line is which. I mean, you can tell by name, but it's a little bit more difficult to keep track. All right, so now step 2 with like 7 minutes to go. Oh no. Okay. I really thought that I was super fast with this. Wrong. The whole city already built. Still slow. All right.
It's slow. You literally have an hour. Like, you've done quite a lot of work in 50 minutes or 53 minutes. Yeah.
Something like that. All right. Step 2. Basically, looking at the bus routes that you have to see if they are working out good. Because even if you have an idea about, yeah, this is going to work out fine, this route is the best, I love it, you can see by the numbers which routes are working and which aren't. I mean, these haven't run for super long, so these numbers are probably not perfect, but I'll just go through like how I think about it. So you can tell in this menu just how many stops you have, basically how long the route is, how many vehicles are on it, and how many passengers. So depending on how many passengers you have, you can probably like when you look at how many vehicles you have, you can tell if this number needs to go, if the budget needs to go up and down. So this line has like a lot of passengers. So if I investigate it, I can see on all of the stops here and all of the buses, and then I can sort of like, if the bus is full, if I see that any buses on this line is full, I would probably want to increase the capacity, like the amount of vehicles on the line, by increasing the budget. Does this make sense? I feel like I am just spewing information. Giant exposition moment. Okay.
It's good for our Garden State esports community kids. Yeah. And it's also good for newer players who are just learning how to make their cities even better.
Yeah. So this line is very, very busy. A lot of people want to ride it. So I would increase the budget. I'll do probably like 50% because I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy here. These are like always adjustable, and like in the beginning, you're not going to get like perfect statistics. The more you let the line run, the more reliable the numbers are going to be. But like for this one, bus line number 10, 0 passengers, 19 vehicles. We are wasting budget there. Wow, we're wasting budget. Most of them haven't actually gotten to a destination. But this is the zoo line, it seems like, which sort of makes sense. We're not going to get a ton of people, but it is very, very long.
Yeah. So
I'm just going to lower the budget by 50%. So we'll do the same, but opposite. So we're going to get less buses. So they'll be less infrequent, but hopefully by having less infrequent buses, the buses themselves will be more full, which is optimal. So you want to fill the buses, but you don't want too few buses.
Yeah,
so you want to get that good
balance.
symbiotic relationship there of like having enough passengers without having way too many vehicles, because every vehicle costs money every week, so you might be wasting budget by having like too many buses. And you also don't want people to wait too long, so maybe increasing budget is good too. Oh yeah, this one. Oy, oy, oy. This one had so many. This one's got 86 people on this stop. We might want to increase it. Yeah, all of these are gonna get full. But there's only one stop that has like a ton of people on it.
Yeah.
Which really is really like telling on where people want to go. So I'm gonna change just the color of this because they're all the same color and they're overlapping and it's confusing to me. I'm gonna make it pink. That'll stand out. So a lot of people seem to want to go. Oop, get out of here. So a lot of people seem to want to go into this area.
Okay.
So I think maybe even having an internal line that runs from this island here, because here's the busy stop. So running a line from this island to this island is would probably alleviate this bus stop a little bit, because it's getting a little bit packed. It's getting a little bit packed. So I'm gonna make.
They don't look like they're social distancing at all.
Not even a little. The fun with cities, you can have like 600 people in one bus stop if you wait long enough.
Oh my goodness.
They will do it. They'll literally just fade into each other. It's kind of cool. So let's have a stop. I also just noticed that there's just a pretty hubby hub here. Let's add another stop. But I'm gonna make another line that runs between these islands. It's gonna share a lot of the stops, but it's gonna be more of an internal instead of a hub line. So if they want to get to the station over here, I don't know, to get to, where do you get from there? Oh, to get to the university, then they can easily do so. So the numbers here might just seem completely random, but you can really use them to see where people want to go.
Yeah. And the numbers there are like, they trend pretty consistently, so it's not like a random day, you know, you're like, oh, there's 600 people waiting, I gotta add more budget. But then when you add more budget, they're like 4 people. It follows like a natural progression. Okay, cool.
Yeah. There are mods that will create like they'll actually add a schedule to the day and make it so that maybe in the afternoon you'll see like people wanting to travel home, or in the morning people will travel to work. But unless you have that, it's literally called Rush Hour, the mod. Perfect. It's a great name. It's a great name. But unless you have that, the base game AI makes it so that it'll be very, very consistent. The same amount of people will leave and the same amount of people will go home sort of at the same time. You won't see it like going up and down like crazy.
Yeah.
So they're usually very, very nice to use. Oh god, I've got like less than a minute. I thought I would have like a little bit of time for some of the weirder modes of transport, but we've done buses for the most part. Oh well.
Well, it just goes to show you how much, how much you can do with just one small aspect of the game in an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the work line is getting some heavy use.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this budget would probably want to raise a little bit. Oh, I still have time. I thought I ran out. Okay, we're good. Ha ha. So also, if you want to change the model, I didn't get to do this, but there are school buses. So they function, it's just a reskin, but if they function just like a normal bus line, but having them, maybe the zigzag that I made in this neighborhood would look pretty cute as a bus route, or like as a school bus route, because you can just make that into a school bus route, and then maybe like find where the school is and then have the bus also stop right by all the schools.
Cool.
To deliver kids.
All right, how are we on time?
We're out of time.
Yeah, we're out of time.
Yeah.
Yay, you did it. So, give us a little tour of this newly updated, amazing public transportation mecca.
Perfect name. Great. We created a little bus hub, or like a transport hub, where they can swap. Oh my gosh, it's so action-packed in here. They seem to be liking it. We've got, ooh, that's a tree. We've got train, monorail, and then we got bus and tram. So we've made the hub, and then we slowly but surely dispersed traffic routes all over. I don't know how chat will judge this. I do not know. I guess we can check the traffic now. We'll see how much they've unbunched.
Yeah, let's take a look.
85. They haven't. They haven't. Letting the game run is the main factor here. I'm guessing a lot of this spreadness is still for buses. Yeah, we still got a lot of cloggage on our lines.
But it is unbunching.
It's unbunching.
Like, it's much less.
Oh
less
yeah, for
bunched
sure. Let's
than
see if
it was.
There's no conga line anymore. No, there's no conga line.
Conga bus line has died. Oh, rest in peace.
But yes. What do you think, chat?
And while chat gives us their opinions, what was your favorite part to build?
Oh goodness. I think exploring this map. I think there are so many possibilities of the longer the time I take to like explore this map and like look at all of the cool intricate places, I feel like I haven't looked into like half of the possibilities. A map is an ever-expanding possibility for public transport, especially like in cities, because you're basically the monarch of this. You make all of the decisions, so wherever you want to place something, you can just place it, and trial and error is really, really good. But there's so many more cool things that I want to place. Like I really wanted to put like another train station somewhere, but an hour just is not enough time.
No. All right.
I think it's gonna work.
So for our friends at the Garden State Esports community, and for new watchers, if you're not familiar, we ask chat to vote on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being she did not fulfill the requirements that were set in the beginning, and 10 being she epically succeeded and made it amazing. And anything over a 6, usually she gets to wear the crown. Maddie has a pretty good track record for this, but we'll see. This is a different kind of challenge. This is hard
to judge, I think. This is more not like, did I make a good park? This is more difficult to judge.
Yeah, but so we'll see. I'm going to ask chat to start voting now. And let's see. 10 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10 for efforts. Pass. 7 out of 10, cool bus lines, but no tree detailing. I think this might be one of the first ones where you didn't add trees.
That is true.
9, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 6, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 11, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10, 8, 10, 9, 9, 7, 7 out of 10, 10, 11 out of 10 succeeded and dealt with chat.
I did answer a lot of questions.
Pretty well behaved today, chat, which I appreciate since we have new, younger viewers, maybe. 23 or 2 out of 3, I'm not sure. 10, 7, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10, added a great bridge. 9.995.
Nice.
What chat am I even reading? I read both chats. I read the YouTube chat and the Twitch chat. So if you're seeing me read things that you're not familiar with, it's probably because it's in the other chat. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 9.99999999999 out of 10. I mean,
I love it.
Basically, that's a 10. So these scores indicate to me that even if it was a bit of a different sort of challenge, that you succeeded. And so you can crown yourself.
Thank you. I will. it's hard to balance this on top of the headphones. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that
did notice something while we were talking, but
Okay.
there's this
What did
really
you know?
cool there's this cool cable car that just runs. Okay, I'm gonna turn the cinematic camera on, but it runs all the way up and like over this canyon right above the dam and then lands right at the zoo. And that's like the coolest thing
What?
I've seen. I love it.
Yeah. So I think Maddie's going to download this map into her
Yep.
personal game.
Yep.
And if you want to do that as well, don't forget it's the Delta Range at 60K population. So you can search that in the Steam Workshop,
There it is.
and it looks amazing. As a reminder, this is the final live stream that we'll be doing for a while. We are taking a hiatus to prepare for PDXCon, which is
On the 21st to the 23rd of May.
yes. So our amazing live content team has already been working hard on on events and stuff for PDXCon, as well as the whole company, of course. So we'll be pausing live streams for a while we prepare for that, and then also giving everyone a little bit of a break afterwards. So we're not quite sure when the live streams will start back up, but we will promote it on our social platforms when that time comes. So if you're not following us on a social media platform and you're curious when the next episode will be, make sure you check us out. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to? Look at Maddie's mad dancing skills.
I'm just waving my arms. I feel like a stranded bird. Cool.
Wave energy.
Okay, wave energy. All right.
So-
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. We will not be
Yes.
back next week.
We will not, but may the 4th be with you.
Yes. Adieu.